What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the AAA podcast. I'm Adam Ives.
What it do, baby? You know who it is.
Welcome back. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute, and I'm actually so hyped to be back doing the podcast with y'all. And
we were talking about it this week. Like, we were on FaceTime the other night, and we were just so hyped and brainstorming for ideas. So
we've been
definitely good to be back.
Caught up with stuff, so that's why we haven't been very active.
We all have our own shit going on outside of the podcast, and
we actually do, and that's actually how the topic of this episode.
Yeah,
we kind of figured out what we wanted to talk about. So
yes, indeed.
See that, and we'll get into that in a minute.
All right, but also just want to say thanks to everyone who's been watching and supporting the podcast. We really appreciate all of you. And
matters.
We are going to try to do a Q&A during this episode, and we will get to that later. But yeah, thank you for everyone who gave us some questions and stuff. And yeah, let's just jump right into this episode, guys.
Let's do it.
All right. So basically, the other night when we were talking and brainstorming about ideas to make this episode on, Adam brought up, he was like, "Oh, guys, I'm so procrastinating on projects right now. My time management sucks." Like, and I was like, "Adam, you're a fucking genius." And he was like, "Dude, what?"
Yeah.
And then we were like, "We're gonna do the podcast about that because that's a topic that us three have all struggled with.
Absolutely.
We've all struggled with time management skills, productivity, procrastination, all that kind of stuff. And so many other people." No matter if you're our age, if you're older than us, if you're younger than us, everybody struggles with that stuff. So we just wanted to talk about it, give some of our experiences about it, like I have some things that I've done to help with those kind of things. Alex probably too, Adam.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
So
everyone's procrastinated at some point. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, we all just sometimes we just get. I feel like, I mean, being someone who does music but also has like other focuses, I was so caught up with like, oh, I want to practice, I know I want to do all these other things, but like I wasn't getting these things done and I was running out of time. And like it's obviously something that everyone like deals with from time to time, but like I don't know, I was like really in a rut like last night or whatever time we FaceTimed. I was just like, guys, I can't do anything, I have no time for anything. And I was just like, I don't know. And I think you especially, you've had a lot, Aaron, you've had a lot going on, and I'm curious how you manage your time with all your business and like your job you just started doing. And
so like, I want to say, I don't really have an exact time frame for it, but I want to say like it's September now, April, May, around this year of 2019, I think that's when I kind of was able to click. It was the end of the school year. Things were kind of winding down. I was ready for summer. And I knew I was going to have some projects going on. Mm-hmm. And I kind of, during the school year, my time management last year was okay. I was able to do my homework while doing other projects and spend time with friends and all that kind of stuff. But I knew it could be a lot better. I found myself to procrastinate a lot. And so this summer, something that I worked on a lot was getting projects done, especially in the summer when you don't have. Summer can be hard, but it can also be easier. Like in some ways, it's harder to really focus than the school year because you're supposed to have your free time in the summer and like be able to just hang out with friends and do whatever. So like there would be times in the summer where I would find myself just like 3 days straight I wouldn't touch my computer at all. And to be honest, that's really needed. You need to have that. Just really have free time with your friends. Like we all know that feeling of summer, just like spending the whole day outside, leaving your house in the morning and just like not coming back till 11:30 at night.
I'm very familiar with that.
So, and so like that's great, but kind of coming back into the school year, I was like, okay, I'm gonna really need to double down on this. So I got, actually recently I've been getting my life more digitally organized. Mm-hmm. Which has helped a lot. I really just use the calendar app on the iPhone, just like Apple Calendar. It syncs with my computer, which is nice. So I do that for like kind of long-term time management, but also I use a journal and I use like a journal planner. It's kind of half and half. And normally I just remember what homework I have in my classes. It's not too hard. But if I have a long-term homework assignment, I'll write that down. And a lot of it's like when I get home from school, I think about what I have to do, and I make more conscious decisions rather than just like kind of go with the flow.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big thing.
Definitely. For me, so I mean, I'm trying to like deal with procrastination because I procrastinate all the time. It's like I'm not very good with homework. I mean, in the past I haven't been because like I would just get home and I'd do like what I personally want to do, not what I should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then at some point it'll be like 7:00 or like even later, like 9:00, and I should be in bed, but I'm just getting all my homework done then because I just spent like the hours building up to that, just like looking up stuff that's unrelated to school.
Something that I do is I'll kind of it's really hard to get yourself to do this, but if I have something that I have to do outside of school or that I want to do outside of school, I'll tell myself I'm going to get this amount of homework done. And sometimes I'll just say I'm just going to get all my homework done. And that makes that experience even better because it's stress-free. You don't have this burden hanging over you where it's like, I have to do my homework later. Shit.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Once you get
your
it
homework's
done,
all
it's done.
done, and that's like the nicest feeling during the school year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So like
I remember I did
sometimes-
that, like, I almost never do my homework right after I get home from
Yeah.
school, but there was one day I did it and it just felt great.
Yeah.
I got to do that more. It's just hard to.
And like honestly now I'm kind of at the point where like I'm able to on some days I'm able to spread out my work so that like throughout the afternoon I have like 8 hours after school till I like go to sleep or till I'm like winding down to go to bed. And so like I'll kind of do an hour of doing nothing, an hour of homework, an hour of work, like kind of like rotate it like that. And it's not structured, but it kind of like flows like that sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel you guys have, I feel like tighter schedules than I do. I mean, you have music that you're constantly working on. And I mean, once basketball season picks up, probably, then it's going to be way harder for me. But right now, sometimes I have too much free time and it's just easier to procrastinate because I don't have deadlines to meet. Like, I'll get home and I'm like, all right, I don't have work today. I'm going to the gym later. Or I already went to the gym. So I basically have the rest of the day off, and it's very easy to just like lose track of what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I feel like that happens like in the summer a lot. Like
Yeah.
I noticed that happened a ton
Because there's no
for me during the
deadlines.
summer.
Totally.
Yeah.
But
Something like when I'm doing my work, I've actually tried this out. I heard it on YouTube by this YouTuber called John Fish. He's like this Harvard student, really, really intelligent guy, and like his YouTube videos are like pretty brainy, but also pretty understandable. He makes really cool stuff, and he's like a lot of his topics are productivity and like how to make your day productive and how to get a lot of out of reading and kind of that kind of stuff. And he mentioned this technique for studying and doing work called the Pomodoro technique. I believe I'm pronouncing that properly. Yeah. And it's like they make timers for it where it's you set a 30-minute timer, 25 minutes is work, and then you get a 5-minute break, and you keep doing that. And it kind of is the idea of it is to keep your brain kind of like healthy so that you have 25 minutes of uninterrupted work and then you get a reward, and then you keep doing that and you're always working towards your reward. And sometimes you'll get into like what I've noticed, sometimes it's hard to take that reward because you get into work and it's like I can't really stop it but it's good because it's a healthy thing so that you know how to stop, but you also know how to get habits, how to get going.
Yeah, I'll try that.
Yeah, honestly, that sounds kind of interesting.
You should definitely try it.
I actually, I'm probably gonna try that.
It's kind of a fun thing to do as well.
Yeah,
because it's
definitely.
It's just a new way to do things.
I haven't looked for techniques to help me out, so I'm kind of.
It's often called tomato timer. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Pomodoro is like tomato sauce. So.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, Adam, what have been? I know you mentioned like recently, like in general, you've been struggling with time management, but like, do you have any examples of that?
Yeah, I'll give some examples. Okay, so first off, anyone who knows me decently well knows I play in a band called the Troubled Times, and basically, this last like month, we've been having a lot of activity. We've released a single, and we've had a lot of gigs this month, and also we've been trying to practice and prepare for those gigs. So that's a commitment I've had to make and just like make sure I can make all the practices. I do all the mixing and mastering for our music, or at least most of it. So that also takes up a lot of time. And then gigs obviously you can't really work around those. So if you have a gig, you kind of have to be like, okay, I can do that. And then just like nothing else can happen that day, at least in that gig like time frame, which is usually like, I don't know, like 6 hours to, I mean, the entire day sometimes if like it's a long drive away. Speaking of which, shameless plug, Brat Rock 2019 is tomorrow, Saturday. Actually, just realized this podcast won't come out in time, so never mind. Either way.
Hopefully, let's just say it went well.
We'll say it went well. But either way, basically, the main things music related that have been hogging my time are my band and then my practicing and like making sure I am up to date with all the stuff I'm doing, because like I do a lot of music stuff in school, and then I have like practicing my own songs and like my band songs and just making sure I progress, because at the same time of me doing music, I also want to get better at playing, because even though I've been playing for a bit, like it's only 7 years isn't that long to like be playing an instrument. So like, I don't know. I'm still very motivated to like keep getting better and like make sure I'm progressing at a steady rate. So those are some music related things. And then also just like school is kind of like, even though like I talked about, like I'm only taking like one academic class, that one academic class is kind of kicking my ass right now.
Agreed.
Yeah, but either way, it's just a balance of music, school, and like things I want to do, like social stuff, and then like, I don't know, any other little things that come up in the middle of stuff that like might get in the way. Work, that's what I should say. I have a job at a music store called Downtown Sounds, so that also has consumed a lot of my time, and I don't really have a set schedule for that yet. So it's kind of just like, hey, can you come in today? And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll come in. And so that's been another struggle. But balancing all those things and me not being so good at time management yet, I'm going to say yet because I want to get better, has just been a bit of a struggle recently.
I got to say something. You mentioned not having a set schedule.
Yeah.
That is huge.
Absolutely.
Recently, so what I've been doing, and I kind of realized this before the school year, I wanted to have a really concrete schedule so that I would know when I have free time to add things and I would know when I was supposed to be working. Because once you get into a pattern and into just like, once you get used to doing something, you're going to do it. So like if over a couple of weeks, every Tuesday afternoon at 3 o'clock, I do an hour of homework, then it's going to feel like homework time Tuesday at 3 o'clock. So like for me, Mondays and Tuesdays, I have a lot of stuff going on. Tuesdays, I have jazz at night, which is just kind of something that I'm doing just to keep music in my life, because my mom really wants me to do that, and it's okay. It's whatever. And then I have like a meeting on Tuesday every Tuesday. So like keeping a consistent schedule with time to mess around and just do whatever you want, that is so key.
Yeah.
So like over the past, I haven't really completely made my schedule yet because some projects that I'm doing are just coming together. But like I know Mondays and Tuesdays are the days that, for instance, I won't want to schedule like appointments on those days, and so I just have an idea of how my week is going to work.
Yeah.
That's like something that anybody out there that's struggling with this, I would totally recommend doing. Just like sitting down at your computer or doing this by hand, writing down every day of the week and then what needs to be done during the week, and then kind of putting it into each day, evenly distributed as possible.
Yeah. Definitely coming up with like solutions and strategies that will help you get there. Like also like branching your stuff out. Like if you have a lot of things to get done, if you space it out day to day, it'll make it a lot easier.
Yeah.
So
yeah, well,
it's definitely what you should do.
Yeah, I definitely need to get into a schedule of like work and homework, because I think like a lot of my schoolwork, I just need to set a time every day to do it. And I think like you said, like both of you said, like doing your homework like right after school is a really helpful thing, because it's just like, okay, that's out of my hair now.
It's hard, man, though, because when you come out of 6 or 7 hours of school, whatever it is,
you don't want to get back into that.
You don't want to do it, so it's hard to get yourself to do it.
That's true.
But
Red Bull exists, so
once you set up a time, like if you have a set time for homework, then it makes it a lot easier to do it instead of just going home and like being like, my homework will get done. Like I don't know when, but it will. Like if you have a set time to do it, it's a lot easier to get it done.
Yeah,
So
I can't
just
tell you
putting it
how many
off.
times I've been up at 2 a.m. doing homework. Don't even. It's too many.
Yeah, no.
It's
Sometimes
terrible.
I'll have I know I have homework that I could be doing, but I just put it off. Like I'll do it like in the morning before class.
Yeah.
Like,
Adam, do you think I know you mentioned when you have things going on, do you think that takes all your energy so that you don't want to do homework, or is it just kind of is that what you feel happens to you?
I do feel a significant loss in energy. I mean, that's partly because of other things that are things I just need to fix because, gotta be honest, kind of a personal thing, but I don't treat my body the way I probably should.
Yeah.
Just mainly I don't eat as much as I should. But either way, I do get pretty drained after school, especially because anyone who sees me outside sometimes at school knows that I do marching usually at the end of the day. So that's at the end of the day, I almost never want to do anything. I just want to go home and lie on the couch or in my bed because I've been doing marching for an hour and that is. I play quads in the percussion section. Anyone who has played percussion in marching band knows how hard that shit is. It's not terrible. It's fun in the end, but I don't know. That I do feel like there are aspects of the day, like the school day, that tire me out a lot, which makes it hard to do stuff right after school. And then there's the space between it's from 4 to 7. I think I've talked about this a little bit. From 4 to 7 where I am super tired, and it's just because of my sleep schedule. But as soon as 8 o'clock hits, I perk up and I'm up for the rest of the night. So I don't know. That's one reason I do my homework so late sometimes, is because I just end up being up that late, which doesn't work well for school. But I don't know. It's right after school, I'm super tired, and then at 8 o'clock I perk up, and then productivity starts, and then I start doing stuff. But I need to learn how to not do that.
So you don't think you could? Do you think you could not fall asleep between 7 and 11 o'clock? That time, you probably couldn't fall asleep.
I don't.
On a normal day.
On a normal day, it would be pretty difficult for me to fall asleep between 7 and 11 o'clock. Maybe midnight, but not really before midnight.
You know what's interesting for me? It's kind of, I have the same thing, but it's shifted a little bit. So for me, I don't stay up as late as you do normally, but if I'm I would say my zone would be from 9 to 11. So I can fall asleep anywhere between. Well, maybe I can fall asleep after 10. Normally, it's hard to fall asleep before 9.
Yeah.
But if I'm up past 11, I'll just be wired.
Yeah.
I can just stay up all night.
There's just this second wind that kicks in during the night. I swear,
yeah.
They're just I want to do shit right now.
Yeah, there's I'll be getting into bed at 11:30, but I just get a wave of motivation to go out and do something.
Yeah.
And it's weird. It's why does this happen now?
Exactly. I get all these ideas if I'm trying to go to sleep early for some reason, if I have an important thing to do the next day, and I'm trying to force myself to go to sleep, sometimes I'll have crazy ideas of stuff I want to do.
Yep.
And then that's a huge struggle, because then I'm I want to do this right now, but I have to sleep.
That happens almost every night
Yeah,
before I go to bed.
exactly.
I have these thoughts, and that's why I keep a journal next to my bed, just because I don't always write them down, because sometimes I'm just tired. But a lot of times, then I'll write them down and then come back to them in the morning, and I'll be
Yeah.
because you will not remember them otherwise.
Absolutely not. No.
Or you'll remember them at the wrong time and then forget them again. And that's the
Exactly.
worst thing that can
That
happen.
is the worst thing.
Yeah, nighttimes are super productive for me.
Oh, yeah,
It's the
totally.
most productive time of the day.
Absolutely. That's when I record all of my music,
In
which
this-
sucks for my neighbors, but is great for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing that we kind of wanted to touch on that fits into this topic is saving money and how to keep your
Manage your money,
financials
make money.
right as a teenager.
Yeah.
Because we all have income streams that are different from each other, and I think we could definitely say something about that. And by no means are we financial advisors or anything like that.
No.
And it's kind of
Coming
sometimes
from
it can
a-
be the opposite. Sometimes we make stupid decisions with our money, and
I do that a lot.
I make impulsive decisions. When it
but
comes to buying shit.
what are some examples? Let's talk about that kind of the
Stupid
mistakes
stuff.
that we've done, because
Well, I can talk about one that happened recently. Recently, I just completely nickeled and dimed my debit card till I had nothing in it. That's a thing you don't want to do. I don't know, man. Like you just gotta like. I think nickeling and diming stuff is a huge thing that I have a problem with. It's just like not necessarily making a bunch of big purchases, but making a lot of small purchases and not paying attention to how much I'm actually spending. Yeah, exactly. Because like food costs way more than you'd think it costs, and like definitely. Little things, just like I don't know, like
spending money on food going out just adds up
so quickly. Dude. Like, it's toxic.
The amount of money I spend on food compared to everything else.
You could easily spend $15 a day. Easily spend $15 a day as a student, someone who lives in their parents' house on food.
Oh yeah, easily.
I mean, that's just like our personal decision. Like I could eat at home all the time, but sometimes it's just so
it's so much easier, and it also is just like fun to eat out.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
And like sure, my opinion, and it's hard to like do this because sometimes you want to eat out and everything like that. Like you want to make that like as special as possible because like you don't want to be eating out every single day with your friends because then when you actually do, then it's actually nice rather than just like an everyday occasion.
Definitely.
And like something that I've really thought about and I've heard about with like saving money, and I think you guys should listen to this, is like when there's an item, this applies to like bigger purchases generally. You look at the price tag and you think like, how, like, what would I have to do to make this money? And so, like, let's say you're working a job and you get paid $12 an hour. You think of the hours that you'd have to work to get this item, really, in theory. And so, like, that's how you kind of consider if it's worth it or not to you. And if you're like,
all the time.
I would work 10 hours for this if it's $120, like, then yeah. And it also, like, if the item that you're buying will provide value back to you, and if you can make money off of it, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Like anything that you can buy that you make money off of, or if you break even, if you make profit, even if you just make a little bit back,
you can resell it, whatever.
It's great.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you were in New York recently, and you were at the Supreme store. Like,
yeah, I bought a shirt for like $38, which is not bad at all.
Yeah, that's not bad for Supreme.
I don't know if I'm gonna resell it. I actually like it a lot, and that's like I don't really wear. I don't have Supreme. Like I'm not super into that. When it comes to brands, at least that's not like my go-to, obviously. But I do really dig that shirt, so I might not. But I've definitely thought about going back and just like buying a bunch of like.
You really
shit,
have to know what you're doing.
Yeah, no, I know, and then just like reselling it and making like, because I've worn that shirt like twice, but if I never wore it, I could probably resell it for like $60 or more, and I'd make like $32, $40 profit.
Yeah.
So
it's so crazy how, I mean, it's kind of normal now how brands will release stuff, and then
a lot of people make livings off of just reselling. So.
And then even like creators brands, like, you know, the Nelk Boys, their clothing line Full Send, people will buy and resell on eBay, and they'll make money off of it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's insane because they do limited drops, and like, it's just it's crazy.
Cool.
And honestly, from a business perspective, you kind of love that because you know everything that you're gonna make is gonna sell, and it kind of like creates a really like limited look for your brand, which is really cool in my opinion.
Yeah. Speaking on impulsive, like, anything that you buy when you just like you see it, you want it, you know, whether you don't actually consider if you actually need it or if it's like too expensive. Like I bought a chain that was like $35, which isn't like that much for a chain, but I bought it online, so I didn't actually realize like what the product was that I was getting. Turned out was totally not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
And within like a few minutes after I bought it, it was the way the metal was linked together, you could literally just like tug a little bit and it would snap.
Oh, dude.
So within a few minutes, like I broke it, and I was like, okay, I'm not buying like any jewelry online. Yeah. Like I'm buying it all in store.
That you gotta, first of all, you gotta get it in store, but also you have to know what the value is for what you want, and you kind of.
It looked awesome, but the material was shit.
Yeah.
Now,
spending money is easy when you have the money. So, what are some ways that we've been able to make money as teenagers? Because I think we actually have some really different ways that are obviously the first way would just be to get a job.
Yeah,
Get a job at a
absolutely.
local store.
Outside of getting a job,
And both of you guys have done that. And how the process of that, like, it's pretty easy.
I mean, for
Yeah.
me, working at Cooper's I only applied to Cooper's because I figured I was going to get the job because all 3 of my siblings have worked
Yeah.
there. So
Mhm.
it was super easy for me. I applied there going into it knowing that I was probably going to get the job.
Mhm.
So what about you, Adam?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'd agree with you. Just like if you're a teen, just like get a job.
Yeah,
like,
just
'cause,
apply.
Like I sort of it took me a while because like I was trying to find something that was more like in my interest. I don't know. I was being kind of a baby about it. I was like, I don't want to work at Big Y or whatever.
No, I mean,
and like I lucked out with my job because the people
It
at this
suits you
music store,
perfectly.
the people at this music store actually called me up and were like, "Hey, you want to do some part-time work?" I had been going to that music store since I was pretty young, so like they knew me and they knew I was like, I knew what was up when it comes to music stuff and music gear and whatever.
yeah.
But I don't know. I don't have any specific tips in terms of like making money. I mean, I guess just save your money. Don't do what
Yeah.
don't like impulse buy, or at least if you're going to think about what you're spending your money
if you
on
actually
before
get a
do it.
job that you're getting paid bi-weekly or weekly, I haven't had a job like that, and I don't really plan on getting one. It's just not really what my interest is. But like there was a certain point in time where I was considering doing that, and the way I was gonna do this, that I would recommend that you guys do it, if it seems to work for you, is kind of I would put my paycheck up into thirds. I think it was thirds. I would do a third of it goes into my savings account, a third of it goes into like spending cash, and then I don't remember what the last third was
That's
gonna
Maybe
do.
like short-term savings or
Yeah.
Something like kind of like I think it was for saving up for like items to
Like
get
specific stuff.
Yeah,
Specific
so
stuff.
and
Definitely.
like obviously you can split it up however you want and what works for you, but like just doing that kind of stuff and like being aware of your financials at this age is really, really
You
important.
Set up the foundation for your future, definitely.
Yeah, I definitely think that like at least splitting your money in between like saving money and like spending money, like
It's
maybe like
important.
I don't know, like 60% like saving, 40% spending,
Yeah.
because then like you'll have money aside for when you want to like, you know, actually put money towards stuff that costs a lot, because like
And mean something.
yeah, you don't want to just like make an impulse buy and just be like, oh well, shit, now all of my money is gone and I have no savings left. So
Yeah.
I definitely support that idea.
Well, yeah.
I would
And-
recommend. I mean, the application process for a job is honestly pretty easy. If you're getting your first job, getting all your papers signed, getting a worker's permit, that's like a little tedious, but it's easy, and you should do it. And I mean, anyone should do it. But for Adam, or like anyone, any store that you go to a lot or you're familiar with that you like, and you might know the people, you should apply there, because not only will you have a good chance of getting the job if you're fit for it and the people know you, like for Adam, they knew him and
Yeah.
they offered him the job, it was a great fit. And like for my sister, she like always goes to Northampton Athletic Club, and she played. The owner was a basketball coach, and she played for him. And she's always there. She's had like an internship there. He offered her, like he told her to apply there. And like when you get the opportunity, like that's great.
Mhm.
It makes it super easy.
And now, like, swaying away from the traditional jobs, like, the way that I've made money in my teenage years and just, like, my whole life, because I haven't had a job, really, like, I don't know. I could have gotten a job when whatever the age was that I turned, that you can get one. But, like, that's not really what I wanted to do. And that's not, knowing me, that's not what I'm going to do in my life. So I figured, like, I'm going to do, like, a lot of times I'll do, like, lawn mowing for my neighbors, and I'll do, like, yard work, just, like, really, really small,
Yeah.
like, simple things and the great thing is that, like I have one neighbor that I mow their lawn, I don't know how often, like, every week or every week and a half, and it's, like, it takes me about 20 minutes, and it's $25. So that's, like, already, in 20 minutes, normally I'd be making $3.
Yeah.
So
No.
it's like, or $4. So it just like you make so much more now. It's not as consistent, obviously, and it's but you like
The amount of time you're working, you're making more
yeah,
than
totally,
you would.
and it's so you have to be disciplined to do it and to find work, but it's great. Like I love the winter. I just
Yeah.
when we get a snowstorm, I've told you guys about this. Like the happiest thing when we get a snowstorm, and if I can't go skiing, I'll just walk around my entire neighborhood with my snowblower, and I'll make like there's been days where I've made like $200, and like I just sit there listening to a podcast or listening to music in my like snow pants, my boots, with my like cold weather gloves on and my jacket, and I'm like just having a great time.
It's like
Just,
I'm making bank.
Yeah.
and snowblowing is actually kind of
No,
fun.
quick
like, I gotta
side
admit.
jobs are great. Like I like mow lawns around my neighborhood, and like sometimes even raking leaves, which is like tedious, but it's honestly like if you can make like $15 for every person that you
A
Yeah.
purchase
do.
that
Exactly.
you can make to make you money is if you get like a leaf blower, like an electric leaf blower or something like that. You can
Battery
probably,
powered, yeah.
yeah, battery leaf blower. You could maybe find. I'm not sure how much they are. They're probably like $60 for like a lower end one. Go around your neighborhood, you can make that back in a day
Exactly.
easily, and then just do that like a little bit more, and you've got profit. So like,
And if like you live in a neighborhood with a lot of your neighbors have dogs, like dog walking,
my
a
God.
lot,
Oh,
so
yeah.
many. I've been doing that recently.
my sister does that.
I've been like trying to find people that need their dogs walked
Mhm.
during the day on the weekends, and you can make like you walk people's dogs for 2 hours, you can make like $30, and you keep doing that, and with a job already, that's just like side income.
Mm-hmm.
And how I manage that, basically, I throw some of it in the ATM. I save some of it for items, and then the rest I'll just keep like anytime I'm going out and I need cash, I'll just like put side
Yeah.
cash into like a shoe box or like a box under my bed that just like has all my cash from side jobs
Mhm.
and not actually directly from my work. And that's just like a great balance for me.
Yeah.
So
Well, should we do the Q&A?
I think we could do that as a separate.
wanna do that as a separate
it's like a
Episode.
quick episode.
Yeah.
Like 15 minutes. 10 minutes.
So yeah, we've kind of gone over some of our personal things recently and how we've
Mhm.
dealt with stuff, and hopefully given some value and advice for
Definitely.
everybody listening. And if you're listening right now, shout out to you. You
Yeah.
stuck with us.
Yeah. Keep
Um,
supporting.
Yeah, we
Share
got
it.
a lot more coming soon.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Yeah.
get some awesome guests on. We've got someone who we're gonna try to work with,
Yeah,
and
one of our
who can help
colleagues.
us grow. And
Yeah,
so yeah, we got some good plans for the show.
Yeah.
Just we'll try to keep it growing and try to get more people to watch it. So
Yeah, and be more frequent with uploads as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
again, going into the whole scheduling thing and like routine.
Yeah.
I've been trying to push this. Like
Yeah.
we gotta like find a day, and like maybe it'll be Fridays because
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's when we're
This
normally recording.
Fridays actually do seem to work pretty well for me,
Yeah.
and I think they'll keep working pretty well if we keep doing it
Okay.
like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All
thank
right.
you for watching.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next episode.